Hello guys, we're gonna start here in just a minute. Just gonna share the link here. Alright, another show here. This is the season 5 final show for that season, and FTOA is going to be one closing it off here. I have an opening match of Okada versus Taz and an Iron Man rules match, which is pretty much no DQ. Alright, let's see how it goes. Taz versus who? Okada. Okada's kind of known for his New Japan stuff, especially against like Omega and a gajillion other guys. DPS would know for sure, unless you're mocking the guy Okada himself. Oh. Ah, I get ya. Okay. Yeah, it's Okada. Yeah, it's gonna be a solid show here. No rivalry match tonight, interesting enough. DPS kind of saving a lot of those for whatever event he has planned next. I believe. Or whatnot, or saving them for whatever he decides to do. Really? I didn't know they had him. Well, probably for a reason, I guess. Oh, Tad's been rivaling with Stiglitz. They have one match left. Interesting, he would be... Yeah, he's helping Okada out. Oh wait, Jeff Hardy's coming down to help out Okada. Just in because Hardy has had a couple attacks on I forgot what I was going. I had a little brain spasm there. Memory forgot or something. But yeah, very interesting to see Douglas fight Taz here.
1, 2.
Almost had him.
Yeah.
Oh, big maneuver. Oh, wicked German. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's not good for TNA. TNA, I don't know when they did that. Oh, look at that. But TNA, like, they really, with the position they're in, when that happened, they probably couldn't afford it. That's kind of why I feel like nowadays, you see, because TNA, they could have been where AEW is now, but their direction kept getting all fucky. I mean, there's the thing with AEW, whether you like Tony Khan or not and what he wants to do or not, he's gonna, like, unless otherwise, he's not really going anywhere. You know, that's like his thing. Like, he's not gonna leave it unless something changes. But he has money, and he has dedication, and he has success. So, so, he's sticking. Oh, the Rainmaker.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, look at that. '89, great opener right there. Alright, next we got some tag action. FTR going against Hart and Punk. Yeah, you see that exactly. 2010, 2011. That's when they started going down the shitter. That's the key moment right there. Bret Hart also the TWN broadcast champion. Alright. Alright. Solid. Let's get that going there. Yeah, it's the entrance speed thing. Some guys are a little faster, slower than others, so it can create some kind of awkward timing stuff there. I usually try to make tag guys the same speed for that, but you got some makeshift partnerships sometimes too. Alright, with Dax and Brett here. And Brett was running Stampede, yeah. He would have benefited from the territory era. Sorry about that long apps talk. I might be a little back and forth talk-wise for this stream here, just balancing a couple things off screen. But just want to get a heads up on that in case I don't reply straight away and whatnot.
Five minutes gone.
A little body slam there.
One. Yeah.
Some good dodging work there against Punk.
Yeah.
This time in his career. Yeah, it's ironic the fate that happened with Brett at the end of his WF tenure, because for a guy that was so like old school on how he believed everything should be treated, he did something that no old school wrestler would do, which is, you know, refuse the whole job, refuse to lose thing. Like that he really went against his natural instincts with that one, and I think that's why the guy McMahon and everyone was so unprepared for that, because they didn't think Brett would do something like that. But you know, with HBK being HBK and Brett hating his fucking guts, I mean, I don't blame Brett necessarily. Oh, the sharpshooter. Because according to Brett, what happened was, from what I heard, was he said that despite he went up to Shawn, he said, Oh, oh, you meant Punk. I thought you meant Hard. Yeah, Punk. You know what? The tough thing. Take my hand. Oh, GTS and a pile driver. The problem, I think the issue with Punk is nobody knows, like, it's one thing to do a good work, but when you go so far into it like Punk does, it can kind of take the fun out of it a little bit, and that's what kind of happened. That really slowed down AEW a lot. It slowed down their momentum quite a bit, that whole thing with them. And I don't know if it made them better off for it, in all honesty. I really don't think it did. And because I don't think it was pre-planned.
1, 2.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think a promotion would only tolerate him if they legit had nobody else. You know, he was like their only guy. You know. Yeah. I think what happened was that Punk, being who he is, I think he called, you know, the Bucks and Kenny on whatever shit they were riding high on. They called him on their shit, and they didn't like that. And that's the thing with Omega in the Bucks. Omega, because I think Omega still has quality in him, but I think the Bucks, any sort of like push or any love from the fans they had when AEW first started, I think it's kind of low-key, kind of gone at this point. Like, I don't see... Oh, Sharpshooter. Mostly just because they were champs and they were the top for so long, while other tag teams struggled beneath them because of booking, and they kind of got hate for it. Omega, I don't see that happening with. I think Omega, at this point in his career, he can win or lose a match, and it doesn't matter. Like, he's set. So I don't really mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind if the Punks left AEW. I don't think they need the Bucks anymore, but I think Omega they'd want to keep. I think Omega still has value there. God, a lot of submission holds in this tag match here. Yeah, it's weird. I think oh, GTS.
1, 2.
I think if it depends on who's running, because some guys work better with some guys over others. Like, if Punk had the right guys around him, like promotion-wise, I think it'd be great. But if he has guys that don't work with him, it can be a huge problem. Oh yeah. Well, the problem with Vince is that Anaconda Vice snuck that in there. Yeah, even Steve Austin walked out on him. Yeah, and well, the problem with Vince is that Vince is very back and forth on a lot of things with wrestling. Because one day he can be like, oh, I love Survivor Series. It's the best thing ever. And the next day I'm like, you know what? I want to fucking get rid of Survivor Series. It's a piece of shit. Oh, wow. Hard taps. FTR get the win. A full 100, jeez. Perfection from FTR. Alright, next, the Iron Man title will be on the line. Hardy against Douglas. Which we just saw those last two in the opening match with interference. Interference shenanigans going on. Alright. Where is that Iron Man title? Yeah, Hardy's the champ. Douglas is trying to get it back here. Let's see. I get you there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how, like, often or how big it will be. It's definitely going to be kind of experimental, but there are possibilities of guys getting hurt like that. I think what I might do, too, is that I might include an option for other promotions to, like a reward in the wheel or something. Like, for 1 week, have one show have high criticals or something like that. You know, just to kind of stir the pot a little bit. I'm doing good, Eli. How you doing? All right. Okay. All right, everything's set up. Let's get that match going here. LGC GSW has Vader. That's good, Eli.
Come on. Can you remember my name?
Oh, alright, Eli, feel free, although I would recommend you posting it on Discord as well, so it'll be easier to trace back to in case you need to retrace your steps. Yeah, it's cool, because if you watch the earlier match, DPS, when Taz was fighting Okada, Douglas came down to help Okada, but Hardy came down to help Taz. Yeah, I know. A completely random thing. That's what I love about this game, is sometimes it gives you, like, great stuff to work with off the bat. Like, you don't even have to try. Like, the randomness just goes so well. Well, and what makes it work, too, is all four of the guys are in the free agent pool. If one of those guys was in a team or a tag team or something like that, it wouldn't work quite like that. So, it definitely... it definitely paying attention to like who you have guys go against and then doing that kind of stuff, that does increase like certain odds for certain things to happen. So it's interesting to see all that go when the CPU goes for it. It's also great if you're looking for fresh stuff to do. Like if you're like, oh man, I need an opponent for this guy, what can I do? And then a guy comes down to interfere and you're like, that's the guy. There's a story there.
Give up. Yes. Give up. Give up. One, two.
Yeah, they had to. One of those things.
Yeah.
5 minutes gone.
Yep. They will be. Yeah, because you had to cut those two, I will allow you to sign 2 guys in the free agent pool without charge because you had to get rid of those two guys because of the new rules we put in place, Eli. So that is something important to kind of keep in mind when you're looking to like who to draft and who not to draft and whatnot. Because again, unlike the previous year's drafts, even though you don't have to sign the guy, if you do want to make him a permanent member of your roster, you will have to like expand your roster slot or cut a guy. So you will have to think about how you want to put the guy in, how determined you are to keep them. Ah, Swanton goes for a roll up.
1, 2.
You know, after the recent comments by Matt Hardy lately, I mean, maybe it makes sense for him to be an XAW in all hindsight.
Come on.
Belly to belly slam.
1, 2.
Only 2. That does remind me, DPS. Actually, somebody actually created the franchiser move in the Fire Pro community download thing. So Omega coming down to interfere. So I will be adding that to Douglas's moveset. Ooh, Whisper in the Wind.
Come on.
Looks like Omega's helping Douglas out. Well, the franchiser, the jaw-breaking move is in the game, but it's a medium grapple variation, so it's not quite the counter version, the front version. Well, there's a counter version, and then the front version's medium. And I didn't want to waste like a big grapple slot on a medium move, so I looked and they had a couple variations, and I got them, so I'll add them to his repertoire, so he'll be a little bit more defined. Oh, the Pittsburgh plunge. You know, that does remind me, DPS. I forgot if you mentioned that. Are you planning on doing a pay-per-view event before closing out the season, or are you waiting till like a different time to do that? Because unlike the previous years, I plan on. Oh, look at Hart. Oh man, I thought he was gonna do something. Okay, yeah, because unlike the previous years, I'm gonna do the pay-per-views first, and then the Grapplecade playoff thing, and then the draft. Because in previous years, I did the Grapplecade draft and the pay-per-views, but I'm reversing that order because I think at the end of the day it'll make more sense statistic-wise and everything. DDT. Swanton.
1, 2.
Only 2. Phew. Oh, Twist of Fate. Goes for a cover.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Jeff retains with the Twist of Fate. 90, nice. Well, I would put that in the I would DM me those names as well. You'll be able to sign those guys. Let's see, because season 6, I would consider season 6 officially done after we do Grapplecade. So that'll be the time to sign those guys, or replace those two with those two guys. 90 and Hardy retained. All right, next match: Kurt Angle versus RVD. But yeah, I do want to make injuries a little bit more of a thing next season. I do want to, like, I've been trying to incorporate a little bit more simulation, realistic elements into what we do with TWN, and to some extent YWA, just to kind of create more of a challenge and more risks involved. And I haven't done it yet, but the credit store for both are going to be updated. The prices are going to be a little bit higher, but the amount of credits you guys will be earning will also be higher. But there's also going to be more risks. There's going to be more penalties for things like match qualities, like not doing rivalries on a proper pace, just stuff that'll affect, you know, your popularity point count, your standings and all that. So that kind of stuff, like, that can affect a promotion in real life, I want to try to incorporate in what we do without it being too complex and OP, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Alright. Okay, set. I do have to update RVD's moveset slightly, though. He definitely is probably due for that. I don't know about Kurt Angle, though. Kurt Angle's pretty accurate. I don't think I need to do anything too crazy with him. Alright, let's see how it goes.
Fight!
Pay-per-view? Sorry about that. Like I said earlier, I might be a little back and forth during the stream just because I have had to check a few things during. But I mean, you have to talk to DPS on that. For me, I already got pay-per-view plans and stuff, so I'm kind of booked through with that. But I won't shy away from crossover stuff. it's a little tricky for me to doing anything super excessive with my promotion, mostly because I'm already running TWN and YWA stuff. So by the time I get down to IGW specifically, I kind of spent a lot of that kind of stuff on the other things. So it doesn't. I want to try. I've been trying lately to try to put a little bit more grit in it, trying to further develop its identity. Nice suplex counter there.
One.
Gone.
Dragon screw there. Oh, 5-star front. Oh, dodges it. Ankle lock.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Continues to work that leg over.
Give up. One, two.
Taz coming down to interfere. Oh, he's helping Kurt Angle out.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Another 5-star frog splash. Well, that's up to you. I will say, like, I do want to keep the TWN pay-per-view streams. I do want to try to keep them on a reasonable pace. So, if you got, so I will say, because I know DPS is gonna do one, Hank's gonna do one, I'm gonna do one, LJC's gonna do one.
One, two, three.
Oh, RVD with the win. Let me think. Trying to think who else. Let's see. PCCW Greyman, he's gonna do one as well. Really, the only Star Fox is the only promotion that doesn't have any pay-per-view plans, which is interesting. I mean, you haven't put in anything yet, Eli, but if you wanted to, like, definitely do it now, because once we go through those pay-per-views and we head to Grapplecade, you're gonna have to wait till the beginning of next season to really sneak one in, because we're gonna, like, try to go through all of that free agency and the draft and everything. 83 there, with RVD getting the win. Alright, and now the semi-main event. It's for the FTOA tag belts. Motor City Machine Guns will be fighting the Briscoes. If you do, just DM me the information for all of it, and I can put it together. I gotta put a lot of the stuff for the pay-per-views together, so I definitely have to get on that. YWA wise, that we got that pay-per-view coming up on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm actually gonna be doing Hank the Tank's SWA promotion first, and then I'm gonna do the King's Ransom pay-per-view later on in the day. So we're gonna have a lot of TWN action tomorrow. Okay, that's good. 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 Alright, let's get that going. It depends. What game is he from, originally? Unfortunately, no. I'm gonna go against Pokemon. And here's the thing with Pokemon. Technically, Pokemon's a fighting game, but it's more than just fighting. It's like an RPG. And they're not really fights, they're battle. There's just too many differences. It'd be really treading the line a little bit. So I will be saying no to that one there. To Pokemon stuff. It really has to be like classic style beat 'em ups or fighting games. It really has to be like along those lines for those things. I think if it's a game where the character themselves are wrestlers, like a character on the human side for those kind of games was a wrestler or something like that, I don't know. To be honest, I'd probably be against that too, because here's the thing, it also goes down to like, yeah, because when you do collaboration pay-per-views, you do have to do them a certain way. That does remind me too. Next season, collaboration pay-per-views they're gonna count as 20 credits instead of 15. I don't plan on increasing the cost of pay-per-views necessarily, because I do want to maintain it as a way to make credits, because all the bonuses, except for rivalries, all the extra bonuses we have established for shows, they're going to go toward popularity points next season and not credits. Really your best way of making credits is going to be through rivalries, pay-per-views, and YWA activities. That's going to be a huge one for making credits. Since since almost everyone is in the YWA does TWN, then everyone will have access to making all those credits. Because the credit rewards in that is going to be increased a decent amount. So that is something to keep in mind there. I'm also going to add new things like merchandise will become a default thing for all promotions. But you can get bonuses if you fill up your merchandise stuff with things tied to specific wrestlers or stuff. Like you have 3 default things of merchandise, but if you decide to make one of them geared towards specifically, let's say Rob Van Dam, for example, like Rob Van Dam, Rob Van Dam THC pens or something like that, then if he does well in a match, then you'll get bonus. So that's how it'll work there. So a lot of that stuff's going to be moved towards stuff that you would consider part of earning in a wrestling promotion to a degree. It's going to be a lot of different ways of earning shit, so I do get that some of you guys who've been doing this for a bit might be a little... It might be able to take some time to get used to that, but like I do with a lot of stuff, I handle all the thinking stuff. Oh, Burning Hammer, so you guys wouldn't have to worry about a lot of things there.
1, 2.
Big maneuver.
10 minutes gone.
Counter. Drops a coup de grace with a cover. Sliced bread number 2 goes for a cover.
1, 2.
Almost had him. Super Brawl. Interesting. That does remind me too. Next season, all pay-per-view names and show names and stuff, pretty much all of that isn't already claimed by promotions from prior stuff is gonna have its own little store for purchasing, like advertisements, brands, show names and stuff, and that's gonna be the place that's gonna be for like getting that kind of stuff and selling that stuff and that kind of thing. Because promotions, and if you do well with those brands that you buy, you can increase the value of it. And that kind of thing. Or you could sell it for more credits or whatever you want to do with it. So that stuff will become more of a thing. So that is, and you could also like create like something and then build it up and then sell it. That could be a thing too, because that's what's going to happen to some of the like defunct promotions. Is I'm going to have their stuff, their names and brands and stuff up for sale, and people can buy those things to use them in their own way. And they're not going to be, a lot of them aren't going to be cheap. No, like all the stuff you already have are gonna be grandfathered in. So since you already were using Starcade, that's gonna be yours. Like you wouldn't have to pay it every time you use it. It's a one-time purchase after the season ends. Everything you've had before is yours for sure. So that's something to keep in mind there. However, like, if you do get in a pinch, you can sell it to a different promotion if you need, like, credits or anything, really. And since it's Starcade, it's a very valuable name to have. So it is something you do want to, like, think about when you might get caught up in stuff. Because, like I said, I do plan on incorporating more things that can cost you next season, so it would be very important to kind of keep track of like the risk and reward of things. Of course, kind of sitting on your money may not always play out as well, so it is something to keep in mind there. But for most of you guys already have a lot of credits stored up, so a lot of you guys are kind of prepared for that kind of thing already. Death Valley Driver.
One, two, three.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A lot of counters here in this one. Oh, Falcon Arrow action. Dodges that.
Woo!
Both been down. And a little battery here, should plug that in. Another dragon suplex. Another Uranagi. Lariat to the corner. Super kick. Oh, kick in the back of the head. Punch trading. Tag made. Hail Saban maneuver there. Counter with the roll up, but the rope saves him. A new era, that should be fun. Death Valley Driver. Hits it again. Tag made.
Right.
30 minutes gone.
Definitely one of the Hail Saban, but he's not legal. Now he is. All being put up top. Oh, big maneuver. Goes for a cover.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, look at that. New champs. Um, I don't know. I don't have it written down yet. Yeah, exactly. I don't know yet, but I will say this. It is going to be pretty expensive. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, because here's the thing, like, because I have noticed over the seasons that it does feel like that moves. Yeah, I forgot you had them at first. I think, yeah, it's weird with this game because sometimes some guys will lose constantly and then they'll go on a win streak, and sometimes they'll be back and forth. It's truly unpredictable when a wrestler's gonna be hot and cold. That is very true. I don't know which one I go with that one. That's a good thing to bring up, actually, because it was the same event under two names. So I think I'll include it as an optional thing for that one for sure. All right. But yeah, but I also want to do it so we don't have a promotion buying up all the pay-per-view names and then sitting on them. Like I think there will be a rule that if you do get it, you'll have to use it within a certain time period on routine. If you get something and sit on it, it will cost you in some way, shape, or form, like popularity points or something like that. Because it's kind of like in real life. If like for example, when AEW bought Ring of Honor, like at first it was super hot, but if they didn't do anything with it, people would hate them for it, and that will cost them in popularity. That's kind of what will happen with any promotion that buys a pay-per-view brand or whatever and doesn't do anything with it. Should I Windows 98? Alright, main event time. Cactus Jack versus AJ Styles for the title. Well, I mean, if you get everything, computers can surprise you sometimes. Okay, checking. Alright, let's see how it goes. I don't know about that. That will take a lot of work. I mean, maybe a Fire Pro game released around that same time period, definitely. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the WCW pay-per-views. The settings, the names, and everything were 9 times out of 10 well executed. You had the odd pay-per-view that didn't, but for the most part, they were pretty solid for the most part. Maybe towards the end of their run, like 2000, 2001, it was probably very rough. But before then, it was set for a bit. But in terms of like ticket sales and getting the right people involved, it didn't always work out like that. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that a lot of the times they'll book matches that probably should have been pay-per-view matches on their shows, and then leave fuck all for their pay-per-views. That, like, shit like Goldberg and Hogan, that should have been you could have argued that should have been a pay-per-view match, but they couldn't resist the timing of everything. Like, Luger winning the title off Hogan at Nitro, like, a week before Road Wild, and then him losing at Road Wild to Hogan a week later, that killed Luger's thing in WCW, because he had a thing for a bit. World War 3 patch. I think on the Steam version there might be a mod for that World War 3 patch. I mean, I could, like, you could do a World War 3 thing in this game. You would just the rules would just have to be different. So instead of like 3 rings of 30 all at once, you'd have to do some abbreviated thing of it. To be honest, we actually do the YWA Warzone pay-per-view like that, our Royal Rumble for that. What we do with that is we have like Battle Royal, like Royal Rumble sections of like it starts with A and the winner moves on to the next section, like Gauntlet style, and then the one left. Yeah. And here's the thing, like, Luger I don't think was ever bad. I think he just had trouble. I think he had trouble getting, like, into it. Yeah, he was. Like, if you watch Reliving the War from Wrestling Biles, like, for a period, Luger was, like, he was the big one. Yeah, it was, and that's but it worked with Luger because Luger. I gotta be honest. After watching Reliving the War, I think the Wolfpack aged poorly. The Diamond Cutter. Well, because it was so impressive. It's kind of like it's kind of like when Cena does the attitude adjustment on a big guy, or Goldberg does the jackhammer on a big guy. It's just impressive to see, especially for the Torch Rack, because out of those two moves, I think the Torch Rack is without doubt the toughest one to pull off on a big guy. So whenever he was able to do it on a big or significant guy, it made him look like $1,000,000. Oh, Styles Clash with the cover. Almost had him there. These two are fitting their finishers pretty early. Looks like they want to get out early. Want to pull an ultimate. Yeah, I remember Hogan had a little what he was doing an interview, and he was talking about how the Warrior wanted to finish the match in under like 5 minutes or something. Like a couple minutes in, he was like, okay, he's like in his Warrior way. He's like, okay, let's do clothesline, press splash, and we get out of here. And Hogan's like, well, hold on a minute, buddy. We're gonna have to sit around for a bit. I don't know how much of that is true, although to be honest, I would get it. Oh yeah, it was just an impressive move to pull off. It was like, well, it was the most impressive move he had in his arsenal by far, because most of his arsenal was very basic stuff. It wasn't anything like crazy, but that torture rack, hoisting a guy up there like that, holding him in place and like fucking like trying to like mess up his spine like that, it was like, especially when he did it on a big guy, which it was tough for some guys. Like, to be honest, like, if his finisher was something like a jackhammer or an attitude adjustment, he probably could have pulled it off on a lot more bigger guys. Like, because the torture rack, you really have to, like, do a lot with that.
1, 2, 3.
Styles retains. $88, not bad. Wow. Frickin' DPS just crushed it with the final show. Yeah, Lex. Yeah, but it just worked for that. You know, Lex was. Yeah, like. Well, I apologize. Not the WCW match they had, the WWF match they had for WrestleMania 6. He wanted to leave early for that one. He wanted to finish it quick. It's funny you mention that because a lot of people consider that one of, if not the best 16-bit wrestling game of that generation. But even then, those games aren't held in high esteem. Like, wrestling games definitely benefited once they jumped to, like, 3D. Oh, that one. Yeah, not the best. I don't hate it. I like it fine, but Raw 2 is superior. Let's not kid ourselves. Alright, let's do some calculations. Yeah, I gotta play those 16-bit wrestling games. I haven't touched on them yet, but man, there's times where I wish I was able to. Raw 2 is amazing. Yeah, I play around a lot with that for a little bit off screen, and yeah, but I have noticed, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but when you do the season mode, there's no US or IC titles. Like, they're completely out of the game. And then I remembered when I saw that, I'm just like, oh yeah, there was a period where they didn't have mid-card titles, so that must have captured that period, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. That's what Eli was talking about. Wow, DPS, you got a freaking 90. 91, actually, for this one. So... So, yeah. Yeah, it was. Awesome show to close out the season. I will be updating the standings and stuff, and we will display the final standings in... Oh, shit. My bad. And we will see the top 4, and those top 4 will be in the playoffs. The bottom 3 will be the ones in the draft. Actually, correction. We still got the pay-per-view, so depending on who wins what, things can change. So that is something to keep in mind. So we won't have an official final standings till we get through all the pre-planned pay-per-views for TWN. However, I will stress that this is a good time to take a look at the free agents for the lower teams, and also I will say I will present an opportunity at some point for a promotion to get extra at Grapplecade for promotion to get extra draft picks. So that'd be something to keep in mind there. And there might be some promotions that are in a draft who may not want picks, who may want to trade them away. So that is something to keep in mind. So definitely look at the free agency and see if there's anyone there to draft. If there's not anyone there to draft, scout them for sure before the end of the season. Because once the season ends, whatever's in the free agent pool, that's who you got to draft, and that's kind of what you got. So definitely be thorough with that. I try to keep it update on Discord as much as I can. But definitely feel free to ask if you looking for somebody if they're not there, because if they're not on through the Discord thing, then I'll check through what's actually in the game. In terms of streaming schedule, I do plan on streaming twice tomorrow as well. That's the plan so far. The guarantee is the TWN King's Ransom pay-per-view event. I also plan on doing the SWA pay-per-view event a little bit earlier in the day to make room for that pay-per-view. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, they did. Yeah, well, 32X wasn't a really big one there. It didn't have a long lifespan and a lot of games for it there. But yeah, I will get updating to that. There's a lot of stuff I have to check through and update, so definitely going to be busy for TWN. YWA, the Day of Doom pay-per-view is going to be on Wednesday, so keep an eye out for that. And then after that, I do plan on reorganizing the League Open thing. It's funny, this time last year, the League Open was actually concluded at the Day of Doom pay-per-view, so we are running a little late this year with it, but it is what it is there. I'm a little unsure about how we're gonna run things after the pay-per-view because of the way we got shows and everything. So I'm gonna kick things off with that with some of the League Open events, day events, and then after a bit we'll decide how to proceed things, whether we want to just straight jump to like the one show thing or if we want to run the show thing for a little bit before we do that. So we'll just see what happens. But yeah, but once we do go back to one show, that'll be it for a long time. Like, I don't plan on like doing multiple shows again. And if we're feeling YWA heavy, then we'll just do an 8-match pay-per-view event like we did in the past. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you guys wanted to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab in our channel as well. You can access that anywhere, anytime. We also have a Patreon page as well. Mingle the pages to raise money for the channel, to give the channel a bigger budget, to do more ambitious things, and also start making merchandise for the channel as well. And the merchandise itself will be geared toward aspects of the channel that you guys enjoy, so any support we get for that is much appreciated. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.